So I did my project over Gently and its use in the classroom with students. My class, my Tech 1 class, and this is the audience would be 7th graders, we are going to be doing a photography unit. And part of the photography unit is some history over photography. So before we start taking pictures, I feel that they need to know where photography came from, how did it start. And so I decided to create this all-encompassing historical unit on photography inside Gently that they would be able to work at their own pace. Of course, we would have a deadline, and but be able to navigate and have ownership of what they were learning and that sort of thing. So I started off, and I chose to do the interactive presentation, which is multiple pages. And as you can see over here on the left-hand side, here are my pages. And I tried to do it like a photo album to kind of stick with the theme of what I was doing. I'll just give you a quick rundown. On the first page, I have for them to click here, and that's where, and I am going to add to it, but for me to look at it, I'm going to add video instructions of how I want them to proceed, just basic, generic how-to, and show them how it's set up. And this might be better if I do it from a student point of view. So here it is. This is what they are going to see. And this is the index page, and I made each one of these live links to the other pages in the book. And honestly, I'm not quite finished. I have one other thing I want to put over here on the right-hand side of this page, but the first page they'll click on, and they have different pioneers of photography. And I do have a little note here, and this is going to be mentioned in my video at the beginning. But what they'll do is they'll click on each person's name. Some have videos, others have text. That's another video one. I have, this one takes you directly to a website. And after they click on the pioneer's name and watch or read any of that information that is in that live link, once they finish, they're going to come over here to the spinning question mark. And this is completely embedded, and they do have the ability to make it full screen. And since I'm in a lab, they are going to be using it on the computer. However, if they were absent, our school is a one-to-one district with iPads, so they could also use this on the iPad with no problem. So it's pretty versatile. So I'm just going to go ahead and blow it up. So instead of doing the standard question and answer, you turn off the sound, I gamified what I would ask them, and they would answer the question, and I'm line-sensitive material. It's going to tell them if they were right. It's about 5 questions. Skip, and I'm going to actually go back and close this out. But they have an opportunity to get on the leaderboard. They can only miss 3, and each one of these is different. I didn't want them to be the exact same. This is a crossword. This one is an airplane game where they are asked a question and they fly the airplane into the cloud with the right answer. There's one that's similar to Pac-Man. So once they get through all of the names and their correlating question games, because it's all related to what the information that was presented under the names, they're going to come and they'll click on the Flipgrid Reflect. Now, right now this says we can't find this group or topic. That's because I have them hidden because they've already joined that group, and I didn't want any of them to go in there and attempt to add things without having seen this yet. We're actually starting this next week. So they can either hit the side arrow or hit the return into index, and they'll click on the next page. And this is different types of cameras, historical cameras. So they'll go through same setup, So I use the same setup as before. It's going to have videos or links, or the text is going to be built in. This is also going to have gamified questions for them to do, and then they will click the reflect and do a video reflection. Now, the questions for the video reflect is either asking them to tell me one thing they learned about each of them, or something very specific about each camera that I've asked a direct question about. The types of photography process also set up the same way. They'll click on it. It is also gamified. So I try to keep it very cohesive in what they were going to do. They do not have to do those three in any particular order. They can actually even come and watch these. This does not have to be done in any particular order. Each one of the spinning cameras is a YouTube video that was done, and it's a timeline starting with the first documented camera, moving up to digital cameras and cell phones. And this is going to be tied to a Canvas a Canvas assignment that's going to have them participate in a written discussion, asking them questions about how cameras have evolved since the beginning of their inception to now, and how has that technology affected other technologies we use daily. Then I also have the first digital camera, which is this ginormous thing this man is holding, but this picture is a live link to a video interview of him talking about the process and how he came up with this digital camera. And then they will also do a video reflection on that as well. I'm going to go ahead and click the next page. This is the first actual digital cameras that came from that prototype that gentleman was holding. And this is a video as well. And there is no reflection on this. This is just in addition to. And this last page, which is I have to add a link to that index page to the final project page. This is going to, each one of these is going to be linked to a Canvas assignment. No, I'm sorry, not a Canvas assignment. It's going to be linked, I forgot, I created Excel documents that they will type their name underneath which pioneer they want to investigate further. And only 3 people, and I have a tab for each class period. So, but there can only be 3 doing each one because I didn't want everybody picking the same one. And I have the same setup for camera, although since there were less cameras, the max is 5. And then photo process is similar to the cameras. So this, they're choosing which type of process, which camera, and which pioneer they want to investigate further. The last camera that is here, which I have to add and edit, it is going to have instructions that I'm going to type in there, and they are going to predict what cameras / digital cameras or cell phones, because our cell phones are also cameras, will look like in 20 years. And so they're going to have, they can complete this part of their project by doing a video explanation or text, but they also have to create a visual. Now this visual could be a drawn picture, hand-drawn. This visual, which I would prefer to be of some digital aspect, but they can create a visual in Word, they can create it in PowerPoint, they can use, because we've done Tinkercad, which is a 3D platform, if they want to create it in Tinkercad and upload the file or share the file, that would be acceptable too. In any way that they can create a visual that is shareable is going to be acceptable. Then they're going to present all of their information. Well, they're going to collaborate with any of the people that are in their group doing the same thing, that's where the Digio is going to come in. They're going to create a group in Digio to share sources and information on their topics. The only thing that is not a collaboration will be their prediction of cameras in 20 years. Then that will be presented, all of it will be presented to the class as a final project. And I'm going to have, I don't remember if I said this, but I'm going to have this Genially lesson embedded into my class Canvas. So they're not going to have to go to Genially to access it. It'll be in their module for them to find, and that will be the only place that they have to go to complete it.